You know, it all started with that one crazy evening at our lakeside retreat on Hidden Cove Lake, when the cops showed up with lights flashing across the water like some bad movie scene, and there I was, racing back from town, heart pounding, only to find my wife Sarah standing there, screwdriver in hand, looking like she'd seen a ghost, while this furious woman, Brenda, the self-appointed HOA queen, was screaming into her phone about trespassing and breaking in. Man, I thought we'd bought our little slice of paradise 3 years back, a cozy old cabin tucked away on 2 acres of pine trees and frog songs. But nope. Turns out we'd stepped right into a nightmare with this HOA tyrant who acted like she owned the whole damn lake. Sarah and I were just regular folks. I'm Alex, by the way. We saved up for years to get this place as our escape from the city grind, dreaming of quiet mornings with coffee on the porch. But Brenda? She had other plans, starting small but building up like a storm you don't see coming. It kicked off innocently enough that spring, when we first moved in for the summer, unloading boxes and fixing up the sagging deck. And suddenly there's Brenda marching up our driveway like she's the sheriff, clipboard in hand, barking, "You can't park your truck there. Rule 14, Section B, no vehicles blocking views." And I'm standing there, sweat dripping, thinking, what views? It's our driveway. But we tried to play nice at first, you know. Baked some brownies for the HOA meeting, volunteered to clean the community pier, figuring maybe she's just one of those overly zealous types who lives for rules. Turns out it was personal. We were the newbies, the city intruders in her eyes, and she hated that we didn't bow down. Things escalated when we installed a simple keypad lock on our wooden gate to keep out deer and wandering kids. Nothing fancy, just peace of mind. But a week later, scratches all over it, like someone tried prying it open with a crowbar. We swapped it out, added a cheap camera, thought that'd be it. But Brenda? She started flooding our mailbox with fines. Our bird feeder was unsightly, our grill too close to the shore, even called animal control on our old lab, Buddy, claiming he howled at the moon. Buddy, who's 11 and sleeps through thunderstorms. Deep down, I felt this knot in my gut, like she wasn't just enforcing rules. She wanted us gone, maybe because our lot had the best lake view, or hell, maybe she just thrived on control, turning neighbors against each other to keep her little empire intact. The real turning point came that sunny afternoon when Sarah decided to upgrade the lock herself while I was grabbing supplies. Bless her, she's always the fixer in our marriage. And out of nowhere, Brenda zooms up in her golf cart, brakes squealing, jumps out yelling, "What the hell are you doing? That's HOA property. You need approval." Sarah, trying to stay cool, says, "It's our gate, Brenda, on our land. We own it fair and square." But Brenda's face twists into this smug rage, waving her binder like a weapon. "No, it's community access, and I have a key. You're locking me out, you thief." And just like that, she's on the phone with 911, spinning tales of vandalism, while Sarah stands there, pale, whispering to me on the phone, "Alex, hurry, they're coming." I floored it back, pulling up to see the cop with his hand on his holster, telling Sarah to drop the tools, and Brenda smirking, "Officer, she's a squatter. I've seen her sneaking around. The real owners are away." My blood boiled. Sarah, a squatter? The woman who'd picked every paint color in that cabin? I jumped out, showed the cop our deed, the county map with the clear boundary lines ending at that faded stake in the woods, and said, "This is ours. Check the parcel number." And the officer nods, turns to Brenda. "Ma'am, you're trespassing if you cross that line without permission. I suggest you back off." She stormed away, muttering about lawsuits. But that look in her eyes? Pure venom. It wasn't over. It was just getting started, and I could feel this weight settling in, like we'd poked a hornet's nest built on years of her manipulating the HOA for her own gain, maybe even eyeing our land for some shady expansion. From there, it snowballed. Fines kept coming. $300 for unauthorized security upgrades. Neighbors we'd chatted with, suddenly crossing the street to avoid us. Whispers at the dock about how we were troublemakers stirring up drama. One night, pounding at the gate wakes us at 2 a.m., Buddy growling low. I flick on the floods, spot two shadows with bolt cutters, yell out, and they bolt. But I catch part of their plate, reported it, but the deputy shrugs. "HOA spats get ugly, but this feels personal." I called my buddy Mike, a real estate lawyer, who digs in and drops the bomb. Brenda's HOA presidency expired years ago. She's been faking elections, issuing bogus fines to bully folks out, probably pocketing fees or worse, aiming to consolidate lakefront for some developer pals. Then this elderly neighbor, Mr. Hargrove, shows up at our door one evening, envelope in hand, glancing over his shoulder. I can't stay long, they're watching. But Brenda's not alone. She's got a network, fake votes, payoffs to security firms, all to claim private lots as community land. He hands over docs showing her altering boundaries, forcing sales from scared seniors like him, and warns, "Your cabin's next. They want the whole shore." That night, power cuts out. Cameras catch guys with gas cans at the gate. We hit the panic button. Cops arrive just as they flee, but the smell of gasoline lingers, and Sarah whispers, hugging me tight, "What if they don't stop?" I held her, but inside, fear mixed with fury. This wasn't just rules. It was a power grab. Brenda's ego tied to controlling the lake, turning paradise into her fiefdom. We doubled down, poring over Hargrove's files. But then the abduction. Our feed shows masked men dragging him from his porch. I bolt through the woods, tackle one, Sarah trailing with lights blaring, cops swarming just in time. Hargrove, bruised but breathing, spills. His safe held the original HOA charter, proving our land was never under their thumb. But by morning, the shed's ashes, though a hidden flash drive survives with emails, videos of Brenda threatening dissenters. Threats ramp up. Cut lines, a mob with torches marching up our path. Brenda leading like some twisted cult leader, yelling, "Hand over the evidence or we'll take it." We barricade, satellite phone saves us. Deputies storm in, but Brenda vanishes in a smoke bomb haze, leaving a note. She's not alone. That's when Harold Jennings appears, the HOA founder himself, ancient but sharp, revealing Brenda ousted him decades back with forged docs and threats to his family, handing a cassette of her confessing to land scams for a secret resort deal. We play it, her voice cold, admitting to break cuts, fake companies, and realize the lake's preservation status was her loophole to flip for millions. But Harold fakes his vanishing to lure her out, and we raid her hidden cottage, files everywhere, her snarling, "You rats think you've won? This lake's mine!" Taser zaps me, but Buddy lunges, Sarah fights back, and then gunshot. Our friend neighbor Ray steps in, pistol shaking. "She promised my kids tuition. Back off." Sirens wail, cops burst through, cuffing them as Harold's tape hits the AG's desk, unraveling her web. Fraud, harassment, the works. In the end, as we rebuilt our gate, watching Buddy chase squirrels under the sun-dappled pines, the lake felt ours again. Peaceful, no fines, no shadows. Brenda's locked up, her empire crumbled, the community breathing free. But Sarah still glances at the woods sometimes, murmuring, "What if there are more like her out there, pulling strings we can't see?" And I wonder, too, was it just one bad apple? Or does every quiet neighborhood hide these power plays? Hey, if you've dealt with an HOA horror or a neighbor from hell, drop it in the comments. What would you have done? Like and subscribe if this got your blood pumping. Share your take on justice in these tight-knit spots. 'Cause stories like this, they make you question who's really watching the watchers.